Hi everyone, I'm Adam from Trade with Precision and welcome to Vantage Markets Inside the Charts. So let's have a quick look at the dollar index on the monthly. What I wanted to just really highlight is that although the dollar has been strengthening, it is still stuck within a monthly range. So that's one of the things I'd like to see resolved this week, but until it is, we're just going to have to wait with some patience. You can see currently that dollar continuing to trend very highly, but it is heading up to that $100 mark, and that's where it's going to find its challenge, and I think that's likely to be this week. While I am on this subject, we could very well have non-farm payroll data and ADP data this week, and the government, I doubt it. I'm not really convinced they'll open up again, but we could find that essentially that we have a lot of US this week, and possibly that adds to volatility in the markets. So just something to be aware of, please. Friday, as I said, could release NFP data, and it could be wild. So that could also happen on Wednesday with ADP data. So just be conscious of that. It's a very news-heavy week. Having a look at euro dollar. So euro dollar has actually started to trend low. It started to actually move, which is amazing. So any pullbacks here could provide some selling opportunities. This is likely that dollar starting to push a little bit. GBP as well. Cable here, any kind of pullbacks here could provide some shorter term selling opportunities. I'm always extra cautious because I'm not convinced that that dollar has actually started to break out of the range. So again, we could find that the trends just die, but they have started to shift a little bit more. We're starting to see more dollar strength. Then if we have a look, for example, at the Aussie dollar as well as the Kiwi dollar, there's no clear trend. So please exercise some caution here. The Kiwi dollar as well, showing some signs of weakness. And again, if that US dollar continues to strengthen, we could find the Kiwi dollar heads lower, but Euro dollar, GBP dollar for my money are the most attractive at this point. Dollar yen, definitely starting to benefit from that strength going to the upside here. You could see possible pullbacks here. Any pullbacks could provide some swing trading opportunities to the upside. Dollar CAD, an interesting one as well, has actually pulled back, has produced a somewhat bullish weekly candle, hinting at the possibility here that if we break the high, this trend will continue to go higher. Then we have dollar Swissy, which is now starting to look more and more bullish. So there's a lot of lines on this chart. Give me 1 second. Let's clean this up. There we go, a lot simpler. So it's broken through a key level in the past. This is a monthly chart. It's come down. It's found support at that 78 level. If we go to the weekly, we can see that there has not really been a clear trend here as well. So again, just going in and putting in a box around that so we know that it's been largely range bound. And for now, does appear to be working its way back up to the top of the range. So dollar Swissy not offering a lot of relief there. Let's have a look at the global indices. So let's go on and have a look at that. Overall, not much movement with regards to the Dow, but it did reach all-time highs last week. So we're still bullish right now. We can see some definite resistance where we are at, and likely that the markets are pulling back. So this week on my watch list, ladies and gentlemen, is a nice bullish candle to form in the moving averages here, which for me may represent a buying opportunity. There's a P500 as well, pulling back in. That's fantastic, looking for a nice bullish candle here. I do want to highlight all of these wicks at the top and the bottom. What that really means is that although the market in the bigger picture is moving, it is incredibly choppy and volatile for day traders, and that is just, it's one of the characteristics of so much indecision going on at the moment. Here we have the US, the NASDAQ 100 market potentially pulling back again, possible level of resistance that may end up being support, but any kind of a pullback here and a nice bullish candle this week could represent a decent buying opportunity. Russell 2000, let's have a look. Again, already here starting to produce a bullish candle, but it has lost its mojo. You can see there's a continued bearish divergence, which means at some point there's going to be a big correction. And here we've got these highs starting to flatten out. So I just predicted at this point on the 7th of October, marked it saying I think we're going to go into a bit of a range. And so far it looks like we are still within that range. But that doesn't mean anything just yet. That range could ultimately be a consolidation, which could work its way out here, and then it could just continue trending higher. The FTSE, on the other hand, also very, very good week last week. I'd like to see pullbacks here, buying opportunities, loving the look of that. The DAX is not offering anything. So this, I'm staying far away from the German DAX, and one of the favorites is the Nikkei at the moment, having an incredible week. When you look at it on the lower time frames, it's just got such an incredibly healthy looking trend. Looks good, but at some point this daily is going to have a pullback. So cautiously bullish in the early part of the week, but expecting a pullback by the end of the week. The Hang Seng itself also is struggling a little bit at the moment and waiting for this to break higher before I get back in. Then if we have a look at oil, so crude oil here is attempting to turn into an uptrend. It is still stuck in a downtrend. This level of resistance still holds, and any moves down here breaking this low could also provide a continuation and could find it working its way back down to that $55 mark. On the other hand, should we come back up and break the highs here, then it's likely we're going to go back into an uptrend. But don't forget that the monthly, the weekly, and currently the daily are all in a downtrend. So breaking higher is really quite a difficult thing for it to achieve at this point in time. Let's have a look at gold. So gold, this is what I'm looking for this week. It's had a really nice, it's let off some of that buying pressure. It didn't finish as strong as I was prepared for on Friday, but I'm still prepared for it to attempt to turn around this week and possibly finish higher. So any break above the high of last week's candle would be a sign that it's going to attempt to work its way back up to these highs at that 4378 level. Let's just mark that there. And so the lower timeframes for me just showing a little bit of sideways movement at the moment. And so I'll be looking for it to either break high, work its way back up, or possibly stay consolidated. Silver, on the other hand, this weekly candle a little bit more bullish. Again, a break higher or above the high would tell me that those bulls are coming back into the market. But for now, I'm just going to treat it as going sideways and wait for it to actually start to break a little bit higher. If it does end up correcting down further, that's not a bad thing. To me, that's letting off more of that buying pressure. But for now, my plan A is waiting for it to break higher. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still holding stable at this level of support, no clear trend, which means that it is effectively stuck in a range. And for now, it's just holding at that range. Ethereum, just showing here again, a possible, this one interesting to me because we could very well be seeing a very slow descending triangle forming here. If we continue to get lower highs, we could see a break lower. But for now, again, it is just stuck sideways, and you can see the wicks underneath, meaning that the buyers are here trying to hold for support. That is it from me. So ladies and gents, really liking the look of those indices on the daily. I'm hoping they will provide some good swing trading buying opportunities this coming week. But we've also got a lot of news coming out. That being said, if the US remains in shutdown and no data is released, the markets will likely just continue as they have been doing. Nevertheless, stay sharp, manage your risk appropriately, please, and be more selective about jumping into the markets right now if you're not seeing any clear trends or clear direction. Thank you very much.